Today we have gathered here on the right of the year and very auspicious day to worship Sri Ganesha. Sri Ganesha is the first deity that was created so that the whole universe is filled with auspiciousness, with peace, bliss, and spirituality. He is the source. He is the source of spirituality. As a result of that, all other things follow. Like when it rains and is windy, you feel the coolness in the atmosphere. In the same way, when Sri Ganesha emits his power, we feel all these three things, within and without. But it has been so unfortunate, especially in the West, that the most important, fundamental deity has been completely not only neglected but insulted and crucified. So today, though I did not want to say anything to upset you people, but I must tell you that worshipping Sri Ganesha means there has to be a thorough cleansing within you. When you worship Sri Ganesha, keep your mind clean, keep your heart clean, keep your being clean. No thoughts of lust and greed should come up. Actually, when the Kundalini rises, Ganesha had to be awakened within us, the innocence has to come up, which obliterates all such degrading ideas within us. If ascent has to be achieved, we have to understand that we have to mature. People are sick now. All over the Western life, one feels they are sick. Sick because they have never recognized Sri Ganesha. If one Freud came, that doesn't mean that you should accept him. But you did, as if it was such an important thing to be done. There was nothing more important than that. So today we are faced with our power of ascent and the power of conditionings we have had. When Freud talked of conditioning, he didn't know he was putting another type of horrid conditionings on. Terrible. Sex is not important for human beings at all. Is not at all important. It is only when you want to have children, actually a human being who is of the highest level will indulge into a sex. The lure, the romance, this nonsense and all that doesn't exist in a pure mind. It's all a human creation. And this servility one has to that is so much surprising. It comes from a very low grading within us. It comes from the low graded human beings. That one becomes servile to it. You should be the master of that. And today when I see around myself in the West, which is also a part and parcel of the same creation, so much of sickness that has come. I am really aghast. How to turn your attention now to the maturity of sex. When the sex matures, you become a father, a mother, and a pure personality. When you hear about a 90-year-old woman marrying a 19-year-old boy, when you just don't understand this is what sort of a society it has been created in this world, this kind of a stupid behavior. We have to mature ourselves. That doesn't mean I'm saying austerity at young age. That doesn't mean that. Another absurdity is that. But of course you must mature. You need a tapasya for that. Unimportant thing when become important, and such an important thing that they are just like anything that we have, like we have hair. Even if you lose hair, it means something. But if you lose sex, what's wrong with it? It's very good, good riddance of bad rubbish. Such a waste of energy. So much interest, so much of our precious attention, so much of auspiciousness spent in this kind of a nonsensical thing. So to worship Ganesha, one has to understand we have to mature. Maturity has to come within us. We have to go deeper within ourselves. Our attention has to go deeper within ourselves, spontaneously. How do we achieve the depth if we are still like worms? Otherwise it's a great sort of a sacrifice or a pressure on people. These tags and these pressures have been very costly for you people, very costly. You have paid through so much. You have gone through so much for what? So, the priorities have to change if Sri Ganesha is to be worshipped. What are we worshipping today is the innocence within us. We are worshipping that is auspicious, which is innocent. Innocence which is deep down within us, that's our character, that's our nature, that's what we are born with, is the basic of this whole creation, is the essence of this creation. So when matter becomes active, all right, reproduction starts, animal stage comes in, Then comes the stage of human beings who are primitive. Then comes the stage where human beings are developed. Not the way what we understand of the developed world. Horrible. I'll never call them developed by any chance at all. What is development is not outside. What is the within development one has to see. What have we grown inside? What have we got inside ourselves? Anything that grows big is plastic of that kind. The one which hasn't got any inner power grown. Say for example, I give you a mango, I said, all right, now you eat it. And you see it just has the cover and nothing inside it. What will you eat? Will you eat that plastic? Anything that grown like that is plastic, is dead. What is the substance inside? Let's see. What is our substance within ourselves? This is what Christ preached. Morality point. So important for him it was, because after dharma, which was a balance, where of course morality is very important, but it was necessary for Christ to talk of the innate, deeper morality, which is a part and parcel of our being. It is not just taught or told or frightened because there's a fear of God and wrath of God. But it should be your own innate light. That's why Christ talked about it. And the same Christ was used to demolish innocence. And I would not say that people were not born. Freud was not the only person who was born. The other day I went to Prado in Spain, and I saw paintings after paintings of the hell. And all these modern times we see those lanky-pankies going around without clothes, sort of people were shown with all kind of funny things, stupid things they were doing. This was Bosch. I was surprised, a German Bosch, who showed all this nonsense there very clearly. Way to hell, then the attack of the death, all these things. I mean, he was quite a recent person. If you call Blake as a madcap, what about Bosch? Everybody is a madcap except for the stupid, useless people. So much warning has come for us. For example, we can say since long we know about hell. The Mahavira, of all the persons, wrote so clearly about hell. This is hell. But in the West, the priorities are absolutely upside down. What is your power? Just think of it. Think within yourself. Is it mental power? That's important. I have told you mental power has nothing to do, because it is just linear, it moves in one direction, falls off, comes back to you. It has no substance in it. It's just a mind projection, plastic. What is your emotional power? Emotions that you have takes you where? See, you have emotions for even good emotions you have. Say, you love your wife very much. Where does it take you? There was a poet called Tulsidasa who loved his wife very much. She had gone to her mother's place. So he couldn't bear it and went to see her, and he climbed over to her balcony. And she got a fright. She said, "How did you climb?" He said, "You had put a rope there." She said, "No." They saw it was a big snake hanging. So she said, "The amount of love you have for me, if you have that for God, where will you be?" So where does these emotions take you? To frustration, to unhappiness, to our destruction? The mental power gives you a horrible thing called ego, which destroys others. And the emotional power gives you nothing but crying, weeping, and always feeling unhappy. Oh, I have done so much of emotional investment on such and such person, and what did I get? So it is not absolute, it's relative. Mentally you are zero if you cannot destroy others. Emotionally you are zero because you cannot overpower people with your emotions. So what is your power? Where does your power lie? It lies in the spirit. But even before the spirit is achieved, what is your power? Is Kundalini? She is sleeping. Then what is your power? Is your chastity. If a man is chaste temperament he has, and he stands up in his chastity, it acts, it works. But first of all, chastity pays dividend in your good health. From the face of a person you can say that this person is a chaste. Like in our Shastras they used to say, a saint or a brahmachari, the one who has never had sex in life, always shining on his face. And as we say that the greatest brahmachari was Sri Krishna, who has so many wives. Because no wastage of energy, no wastage of attention is on that. So the whole energy is inside. I will say today as I was coming by car, it was raining, it was windy, it was very cold, but we were in the car. Nothing affected us because we were quite warm inside the car ourselves. We passed through everything, nothing touched us, nothing bothered us. We came away, everything fine. How? Because we kept to our own vehicle. And the vehicle we have is our chastity. We are so particular that others must respect us. Others must give us homage. Otherwise we get into tempers. Did you respect yourself? Do you respect yourself?